So why did we choose a container home? Ultimately, when we bought this property, what we were looking for was the ability to have a semi-permanent, permanent structure for us to live in while we were redeveloping the front house, but also turn into an Airbnb or a midterm rental after the fact. In doing that, we looked at yurts, we looked at building an ADU, we looked at Airstreams and all these different things. And the container was, we liked it pretty initially. It seemed like a pretty good spot for us, but we couldn't really figure out what a container home looked like. And then the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy episode came out in Texas, where they were showcasing Bob's containers, almost this exact container, and we just loved the way it looked. And then we were able to go out to the yard, look at the containers. I ended up knowing Rob he trained at my gym for a while, so it ended up just like everything kind of seamlessly worked together, and all the pieces came into the right place, and yeah, so we ended up with this thing. So the process of purchasing a container was very straightforward. It was, we basically went through, we looked at what we wanted online, had a few ideas, and then a sales agent reached out to us, called us, we went to the yard, we looked at containers. That gave us a very good idea of what the feng shui, or like how that kind of all looked out. And then we just kind of talked over what the design would look like, what the walls would look like. We did a semi-built out container, so we got, I guess, rough plumbing, rough electric. We did have the floors put in, and then we did all the rest outside of that. I think y'all put in the shower. Y'all weren't supposed to, but y'all did, so that worked out for us as well. But yeah, after that, we got it delivered. I didn't think they would be able to get a 40-foot container on this road, but the guys were able to get it in. They said it wasn't a problem. Nobody lost any fingers or toes, and yeah, we got it set up. We finished out after getting it set up on the property, getting it leveled, water, electricity run to it. I think we moved into it 5 weeks later. So yeah, I think the whole process for us, we started shopping around March or April, and we moved in September. I think that's right, yeah. So we were looking, a buddy of mine had done a container development for the soccer stadium, and so his big feedback was get as much glass as you can in there. So he's like, the more glass you can get, the less of a coffin it's gonna feel like, and this was the model that had the most glass. At the time, I'm not really into tinkering with other people's work, so I was like, oh, this is definitely gonna work for our process, but that's kind of why we chose this one. And also, like, it looks remarkably like the one on the Queer Eye episodes, and we just like that aesthetic look. The inside's a little bit different when we get into it, but we just like the look, and very Texan. We have a few Airbnbs, and pound for pound, it is our busiest, most profitable, easiest Airbnb. Like, it's not even comparable with, compared to what would be nicer, significantly more expensive properties. This one mops the floor with all of them. I think it's the location. I think it's the fact that it's all new, so there's not a whole lot of hang-ups. But we're in Austin, but we're about, as the crow flies, we're about 800 meters from Town Lake. So we're a $5 Uber from downtown. We can get to the airport in 5 minutes. We're right in the middle of everything. But when you see through this pan away video, we're in the middle of the woods. It's very, very private, very, very pleasant. I think that's a big component. The uniqueness of the container. If you look in Austin for other container homes, they're either further out or they're just not this nice. And I think that's a big component of it, or they're really fancy and they're incredibly expensive. So I think we fall right in the appropriate price point on that. And then the simple fact is it's all brand new. So when it's all brand new, nothing's breaking the way it normally would. So like with the wear and tear, all those things, it's much easier for us to maintain. It's also 280 square feet. The maid was here earlier. She got in and out of here within under an hour. So it allows us to have a really fast churn on things, which is all those things combined make for a very, very nice Airbnb. So what would I tell somebody about living in a container home or turning one into an Airbnb? Do your due diligence. First off, make sure if you're doing it in city, you need to make sure your permitting is good for that. We're a little bit outside, so we're able to get away with some of that stuff, but what that looks like, and then what you really want your container to look like we bought the one from the Queer Eye episode. If I had really thought about what I wanted the flow of the house to look like with the orientation of the doors, what I wanted the furniture to look like, I would have changed the orientation foundation a little bit. And then after living in it, I might have moved some things around a little bit. So I think it's really important to do your due diligence and really think, like talk to your designer or builder what those things look like. I can tell you that going through trying to do this stuff yourself, it's better to go with a professional. You're not saving any money when you're doing it yourself. So it's better to go with a company like Bob's or something like that and just get everything done for you. But it's been like that was the single biggest thing. It's just the due diligence component. What are you using the container for exactly? What's that gonna look like for you? You know, how all those things work. We thought we were gonna have a washer dryer up here. We use the washer dryer for us, but we don't use it for the Airbnbs because we have a service for that. We did not use a tankless hot water heater because we lost so many in previous freezes. So we actually have a tanked water heater in the back. That's been really nice because it's a whole bunch of hot water. So there's just some things like that, like what works out better for you for some of these things. Hey y'all, let's check out my container. Step inside with me. So this is a 40-foot container. It ends up being about 280, 290 livable square feet. We have all IKEA finishes. Big thing with the container is storage. We got a ton of storage here. We've got a stove top in here. You can kind of see that. We've got spices. We've got a toaster oven in here, all the extras. We do have a dishwasher in here. Makes things really, really convenient. Big deep sink and a nice picture window, Keurig and a tea kettle, and then a little mini fridge that actually works out as it's not quite a full-size fridge, but it works out pretty well. You come through, we've got this couch doubles as a twin bed. If you lift it up, it's got storage underneath. Again, the big thing with the container is storage, storage, storage. So we have this as a nice, comfortable sitting area, indoor, outdoor, and a step in. If you follow me through, we can see the bathroom. Remarkably large bathroom for what is essentially a 300 square foot apartment. Again, all IKEA finish outs in here. We have a stand-up shower in here, full-size sink, more storage, more storage, more storage. The humidifier when it gets warm out here, and then we have a little picture window right here just to let light in and get a little access. And then we have the bedroom. All these doors, we have pocket doors for all these so you can seal everything out and get a lot of privacy. We come into the bedroom, we do have a window unit AC so you can get an icebox cold in here. We've got a small little TV. You can have, these are all blackout curtains so you can make it really, really dark in here and get yourself in a nice little cave. And then we have a really cool locker right here. You can hang clothes on one side, then you can put all your stuff in on the other side. So that spot works out really well. You can fit a king size bed in here. We went with the queen because they're easier to turn the sheets. And then if you want to step outside with me, I'll show you the real gem of this whole property. So the inside of the container is 280 square feet. The deck is 400 square feet, so it essentially more than doubles our living space. We've got a full-size dining table. We've got a Traeger pellet grill right there. We've got a sectional couch and egg chairs over here. We can get the fans going, so to take care of all bugs, any issues you have like that. We have a propane fire pit over here, and then we have our wood fire pit down there. So anything, just whatever your flavor is, got a giant wood wall over there, so you can smoke yourself out. But yeah, this is our container. Hope you enjoy it. If you ever have questions, you want to check it out, hit me up.